Welcome to a very special Fairy Garden Thursday. Today, Fairy Gardens meet Food Gardens. I've got a very special garden I just created. We're going to talk more about the food part of it in another video, but let's take a look at the Fairy Garden. I have created a planter with some of my indoor food plants. You might recall these from previous videos. Some cucumber seedlings are in here. We've got a bell pepper plant. And throughout this whole planter, these tiny little seedlings, these are basil seedlings, and there are a lot of them in here. So let's see what the fairies have been up to in this little fairy garden. First of all, in this corner we have the doctor's office. This is the doctor right over here. She is a grandmother frog, and she is going to be making sure all of the plants are in optimal health. She has these ornamental cabbages actually possess magical powers, and she can use them as plant fertilizers for the real plants in this fairy garden. If they start to struggle, she's going to mix up a potion with her ornamental cabbages and start divvying it up to these food plants. In the middle of the garden, we have the guardian of all of this world of food. This is the food fairy. She specializes in growing all kinds of foods and is going to ensure that this garden thrives. Right beside her, she has her assistant, this little gnome. Is the caretaker of the garden. He is in charge of ensuring the plants get adequate water and not too much. And right at the front here, this little guy, this angry looking gnome is actually in charge of giving the plants discipline when they get out of line and start to get yellow leaves or things start happening. He is the disciplinarian. He's going to go around and make sure the plants are behaving themselves, not doing anything that's going to interfere with their health. He is in charge of keeping them in line. Coming over this way, we have the mushroom whisperer. This little guy is in charge of spreading mushrooms throughout this whole little world of fairies meet food. These are actually magical mushrooms, and the more mushrooms that reproduce and get closer to the plants, the happier these plants are going to be. So he is in charge of breeding mushrooms. He's got a good collection in this corner, but he needs to work a little harder and get these mushrooms spread out throughout this whole food garden so that the plants can thrive. And throughout this garden, you see a few mysterious, mischievous visitors, the little rabbits. They are just waiting for these plants to plump up so they can start snacking. There's a couple here, another one over here. They cannot wait to get their taste buds on these fresh greens. And at the back, we've got a few more magical mushrooms that the mushroom whisperer has been spreading around in this magical world where food meets fairies. So that is what is going on in the world of food and fairy gardens. I'm going to talk a little bit more about how I constructed that planter. There is some more food related indoor gardening stuff that I want to discuss. That in itself is a bit of an experiment. The ingredients in that planter are things I have not tried yet in this indoor food garden. So we're going to get into that in another video. But for now, thank you so much for watching. And we will see you maybe next week. We'll do another fairy garden. I hope you have a lovely day, evening, or night, wherever you are. for now.